This is Cruisin' New England. Ford built and sold millions of Falcons. Studebaker once was one of America's most iconic car designers. I'm Paul Manette. Welcome to another edition of Cruisin' New England. Today we're going to visit two Northeast regional meets. One is the Studebaker owners and the other one is the Ford Falcon. Today on Cruisin' New England. All my life, I've been cruising New England, meeting great people, visiting amazing places, and discovering wonderful classic and custom car collections, nostalgic automobilia, and so much more. Come on and join our adventure. I'm Paul Manette. Let's go cruising.
Modern Auto Body restores and maintains some of the finest automobiles in the country. It doesn't cost any more to have the best for your family's car back to top condition. We deal with every insurance company, and Modern will even help with the paperwork. Our state-of-the-art technology can straighten a damaged frame to exact specifications. Modern's color matching system ensures a stunning paint job and an exact color match.
Modern was great to me.
I wouldn't go anywhere else.
See the difference. Modern Auto Body, Brockton.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy, your expert for old car insurance. For 60 years, my family's been insuring old cars, and for 40 of those years, we haven't had a rate increase. We believe we can save you up to 50% or more in your old car insurance. Did I say 50? You bet I did. I know some companies say 15, but I mean 50 or more. For the best rates and the best coverage you can buy on your old car, call or visit us online.
Cruisin' New England magazine. Plan your cruise and car show season. Subscribe today at cruisingnewengland.com or call 508-428-8055.
Intercity Lines Incorporated, America's premier enclosed auto transporter, providing enclosed transport throughout the United States. Call 800-221-3936 or visit us on the web. Find out what's happening. Get up-to-date information as I travel throughout New England and beyond. To get exclusive information and behind-the-scenes photos, join me on Facebook. Garage Storage Cabinets of Northern New England offers premier services in custom storage, organizer, and flooring systems for residential and light commercial spaces, specializing in garages, basements, and workrooms. If you are a discriminating person who views your garage or workspace as an extension of your home, you will be absolutely delighted with our products and individualized services. We are a New England family-owned and operated business, so take the next step. To schedule your in-home consultation and pricing, call us today. Welcome back to Cruisin' New England. Today I'm here with Ray Chevalier, and he is one of the organizers of the Falcon Northeast Regional Meet. Well, tell me a little bit about the meet.
This meet is a national event. It's published and sponsored by the National Falcon Club of America. And I started this in 1994.
So now, let's talk a little bit about the history of the Falcon. I know it was made between 1960 and 1970 production years.
Correct.
Give us a little overview.
Okay, Falcon was Ford's competitor to the economy car. But halfway through the 63 year, they decided to put some pizzazz into their car.
Now I'm here with Gail Alquist, and Gail, you have quite a Falcon here. Is this what you'd call a mother's vehicle?
This is a grocery getter.
A grocery getter?
We call it the grocery getter, yes.
So tell us about your grocery getter.
Our grocery getter is a 1962 two-door Falcon station wagon. We've had it for 6 years. We restored this in our own backyard. We did the motor, the interior, and we also painted it within a tent.
We're here with Gary Nenninger, and he's going to give us an up-close look at his 1963 Falcon, convertible, by the way. And what's unusual about this vehicle is that you're the original owner.
Yes, I bought it when I was 18 years old. My father said I paid too much for it, but I wanted it. At the time, I got every option I could get except for power, because power took away from the power of the vehicle, and I wanted to go fast. Even though it's, not a big engine, but it was pretty good for its day.
I'm here with Art Dammers, and Art, I guess this isn't just an ordinary 65 Falcon convertible. Tell us a little bit about what you have here.
Sure. This is a 65 Falcon convertible. It's a Sprint convertible, and it was the last year for the Sprint, the last year for the convertible. They made 300 of them, and it took me about 20 years to find it. I work on the 65 Sprint registry with a friend of mine, and there are approximately 30 that are known to exist.
I'm back here with Ray Chevalier. Let's talk about your vehicle.
Okay. This is my 65 Ranchero Deluxe. This car was built in 1995, restored in 1995. It's been in a heated garage for 12 years before I bought it. What I really wanted to do was to have an automobile that's AACA certified. Now,
Okay, what does that mean?
AACA is the Antique Automobile Club of America.
Now we're going to talk with Bob Hines. Bob, you own one of the rarest of Falcons in the last production year, 1970 and a half Falcon here. Give me a little history of this.
Well, this was the one between when Falcon was deciding to change over to the body style. So they left this one as a sedan, and this is one of the rare ones that got left as a Falcon instead of being converted over to a Torino.
Bob, why don't you tell us about the engine?
Well, it's a small block 302, pretty much a stock engine other than, some add-on things. It's got a different intake manifold, it's got a pair of headers on it, some valve covers, and a different carburetor and ignition system. Other than that, it's pretty much what it's supposed to be.
Ray, before we leave, you wanted to show us this 1961 Pro Street Falcon. Who do we have here?
This is Mark McCutcheon from Bridgewater, Mass, and this is his Pro Street. He won Best of Show 3 years ago, Mark.
What made you Pro Street a Falcon?
There's something different. You don't see too many of them out there like this. I figured it'd be different to do.
Now, let's have a look under the hood. And you have a lot of money tied up here under the hood. Let's talk about it.
It's a V8 302 stroke to a 363. It's a 4-bolt main block. It's bored 125,000 Siamese bore. It's got 550 horsepower.
Now, did you build this vehicle for shows?
Yes.
So this was built for going to car shows?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's a great vehicle, and thanks for sharing with us today. Ray, I've had a great time here today. We've looked at a lot of vehicles today, and we're going to show a few of them on our television show. And you're a wonderful guy, and I'm glad to be here today.
Glad you came.
We saw a few Falcons today. We had a great time. When we come back, we're going to see some Studebakers.
Experience McMulkin Chevrolet, one of the largest volume new and pre-owned Corvette dealers in the country.
I came here because I heard McMulkin has the largest selection of Corvettes in the Northeast.
I bought a GR1 because I wanted the fastest production car out there.
McMulkin has one of the most extensive inventories of coupes and convertibles, available and ready for delivery.
The Taj Mahal of Chevy dealerships. If you haven't been around, you got to come and check this place out.
Make it the true American sports car, Corvette. McMulkin Chevrolet is your Corvette dealer.
Now you can watch Cruisin New England television every day on our website television show. You'll see past episodes featuring automobile collections, memorabilia, automobilia, car show, and cruise night segments. Don't miss our visit with Hall of Fame drag racer Don Garlitz, a private showing of Bob Bear's world-class automobile collection, and watch for special segments, unseen footage, and so much more. Join us on our website television show at cruisinnewengland.com.
Weddings, parties, classic car shows.
Gary James.
603-833-5292. 603-833-5292. Let Universal Vintage Tire be your source for collector vehicle tires and wheels. Lester, Dunlop, Firestone, and more. Universal Vintage Tire has a wide selection of bias ply and radial tires for your classic car or truck.
The Biggie. New England's Great State Fair. Coming fall 2011.
Intercity Lines Incorporated is America's premier enclosed auto transporter with service to all 48 states. Intercities features 53-foot air ride trailers equipped with lift gates for level loading of all vehicles. Intercity's drivers are the most experienced in the auto transport business and treat each car as if it was their own. Intercity provides transport services for car owners, auto manufacturers, dealers, museums, auto auctions, concours, and racing events. Call us toll-free or visit our website. Welcome back to Cruisin New England. We're here in Sturbridge, Massachusetts at the Studebaker meet. And here with me, I have Dennis Jollycur, who's in charge of this meet. Tell me exactly what you do here with the show.
I'm president of the club, and this would be the Ocean Bay chapter, it's the Northeast zone meet of the Studebaker Drivers Club.
Very good. Now you have vehicles here from not just New England, but they're coming in from different parts of the country.
We got cars from New Jersey, New York, have cars from Ontario, Canada, which is a great pull-in for us.
Well, I'm ready to go out there and meet some very interesting people and see a lot of beautiful Studebakers. Hey Dennis, you ready to show me around? Let's go look at some Studebakers.
Let's go, Paul.
Okay. I'm here with Stu Chapman, and he's the former Director of Advertising and Public Relations for Studebaker from 1964 to 1966.
Right.
You'd be the perfect gentleman for me to talk to get an overview on the Studebaker.
Well, I certainly hope so. Studebaker went through a number of financial problems over the years, notably in the Depression, and then again in 1956, and then later in the early 60s. And finally, in South Bend, Indiana, the end came to Studebaker production in the U.S.
Now that's where you came into play, big time for Studebaker.
I did. Yeah, all the production for the world was then transferred to Hamilton, Ontario, in Canada. Unfortunately, we had a lot of obstacles, including a rather indifferent board of directors in New York. Studebaker in the States never could seemingly make money in the automotive division, but we always did in Canada. So we were convinced we were going to be able to pull it off and keep the car going, but it wasn't to be.
Stu, you think you could take us back to 1966 when you made that announcement?
Well, yeah, I think probably I can. My personal history, of course, actually began in 1963 when I joined the company, and I came in as the assistant manager and ended up being director of advertising and PR in 1964. And it's something you never forget. As of end of production, in a few days' time, Studebaker will no longer produce automobiles. And I remember that being as an opening line.
A lot of pressure there.
Oh yeah.
Well, you have even written your own book here called My Father the Car, Memoirs of My Life with Studebaker.
Right.
That's quite a book. Tell me a little bit about the book.
Every time another company closes, they like to try and relate it to the Studebaker close in +66. And as the world knows, there were a lot of problems in the American automobile industry as well, with GM and Chrysler going into receivership.
Are you known as the bad guy of Studebaker, where you had to give away that message?
Sometimes.
Well, this is great, and thanks for spending a little bit of time with me.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Hey, I'm here with Jim Maloney, and he's going to give us an up-close look at his beautiful Studebaker convertible. But, you know, I heard that your wife was actually the model for Studebaker.
She modeled a lot for Studebaker, yes, starting back as far as '52, and we got married in '59, and that was kind of the end of her career because she got pregnant.
So I understand that you even worked on the assembly floor.
I worked 3 years in the machine shop. I was an inspector. I inspected crankshafts, camshafts, engine blocks, finished engines, and the whole 9 yards.
So you're an expert on the Studebaker.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that, but anyway, I know a lot about them.
Okay, let's talk about, what do you have here?
Well, this is a '53 Starliner convertible. Now, they didn't build but one prototype convertible in '53, that's all. And working in a factory, I used to see that one convertible running around town, and I said to myself, someday I'm going to replicate that car. So I bought a very rusty coupe, cut the top off, and then we worked. It was a 9-year project to get it looking like this.
So we're looking at really a one-of-a-kind automobile here.
That's right. That's why I have that license plate.
Well, let's have a look at under the hood. What do you have here?
Well, it's a 259 V8, and it's putting out about 270 horsepower, according to the guy who built the engine, and I trust him. And you have, this is an accessory from a later model Studebaker, power disc brakes. Because, you know, I built the car, I wanted it to look nice, but I wanted it to be fun to drive and safe. So I said I want disc brakes on the front, like we have today, and power brakes, so it'll stop just as fast as it goes. All right, I want to show you something here. This is an article on the one prototype convertible that Studebaker built. This is, see, the South Bend soft top that wasn't. It's from Car Exchange, November 1982. And this is the one prototype convertible that Studebaker built in '53. And I took this picture, this side view, actually blew it up in my office, put it up in the garage of the body shop, and I said, that's what I want it to look like.
Well, how do you feel it came out?
I'm very happy. And one thing that's interesting is I didn't keep track of how much I spent. So when my wife asks me how much I got in the car, I say, I don't know.
A smart man.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for sharing that with us today.
You're welcome.
It's a wonderful automobile.
Thank you.
When we come back, a lot more Studebakers. Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award to recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting. Jim, I want to introduce you to Bruce Hammond.
Bruce, tell us a little bit about your car.
This is a 1999 Corvette Torch Red with graphics.
It's a beautiful car, and on behalf of Town Fair Tire, I'd like to present you with a trophy and a gift certificate.
Get to Town Fair Tire. You always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover. Drive with confidence. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Town Fair Tire.
I'm here now with Bob Dalton. Bob, if this show gave away the biggest automobile in the show, I think you'd win. A 1932 Studebaker President?
Yeah, but don't you dare.
Tell us a little bit about it.
It's a 32 President, state convertible coupe. State being an option package that includes the side mount spares, wire wheels, luggage carrier. Otherwise it would have rear spares. Artillery wheels, pretty but not as pretty. It's about all the money you could spend on a 32 convertible.
Well, let's go back into history a little bit here and let's talk about maybe some of the difficulties in doing this vehicle in 1932.
Imprudent, very imprudent. The economy was not good. Most car companies were downsizing, and Erskine was the CEO here, and he didn't believe that depression would last more than a week or two. I mean, he believed that all the way through. And he wanted to develop this President model from 28 on. It was his thing, it was his quest. And he was doing very well. He was out to compete with Cadillac and Packard for style, for power, for whatever. He was doing a pretty good job, I think. But you couldn't sell these cars in 32. Couldn't sell them in 31. That didn't stop him. 32, they failed. In 33, they didn't have enough money to buy steel to build cars. There aren't a couple hundred 33 Studebakers.
Bob, this is a beautiful car. Bob, I consider you the guy that wants the real thing, and you got it with this automobile.
Here it's convex, okay? It turns inward, it becomes concave. It turns again outward. How did they press that piece of steel without kinking the bloody steel?
And matching it on both sides.
Well, I don't see any kinks.
It's beautiful. Absolutely.
I just think it bends my mind to look at it.
Craftsmanship.
If I'm a car guy, I don't walk away from this. That's all there is to it.
Well, thanks for sharing with us today.
You're welcome.
I'm here now with Bob Billings. He's the owner of this beautiful truck. Tell us about the truck.
It's a 1938 Studebaker. It's called a K20. It was originally bought by the state of Connecticut for plow and snow. When I got it, there wasn't much left. About 5 or 6 years. Actually, it's the first real ride I've taken with the truck since it was done.
So did you bring this back to original stock, or did you do some modifications with it?
It's original. That's pretty much the way it would have come from the factory. Of course, when the state owned it, they painted it orange, and there was a state of Connecticut logo on the door. And it had a different type body on the back. I built the body for the back because I thought it looked good with the truck and whatnot. And we put a new engine in it.
Tell us what you got there.
Well, it's a Hercules engine. It's called a JXB. It's a brand new motor. I bought it out of a vendor in Ohio and assembled it. It came disassembled. And like I said, it's the first run I've taken with the truck. It took me about an hour and a half to get up here, and it ran great. So far, so good.
Let's talk about your wood stake body back here. It's beautiful. Did you customize that yourself?
Yeah, I had the metal bent up. I put it together. I actually cut the trees down and milled them.
That's a lot of work. You must take a lot of pride in this vehicle.
Yes, I do.
Hey, Bob, can you show us the interior?
Sure. This was one of the stock colors for the truck rather. You could also get black. I think this truck did come originally with black, but I found some old swatches. Would have been standard with a leather seat. Actually, the dash is out of a car. What Studebaker did is they took a 37 car, 4-door sedan, and they would cut it in half, put the rounded back, stamp for a truck, and different nose on it. And basically, that's why the gauges and speedometers, everything, same thing you would see in a car.
I would take a guess at saying that this vehicle has been restored better than when it came out of the factory.
Yeah, probably, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the paints nowadays are, that's my business. I do restore Studebakers for customers and whatnot. And, the paints and materials that they have nowadays are, much better than what they had back in the 30s as far as durability and gloss and just the way they look at everything.
Great truck, and thanks for sharing it with us.
Thanks very much, guys.
Tired of waiting for delivery of your classic car parts? You need NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't be the last guy on the block to get your ride rolling. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Cash for Gold, the place to sell your unwanted gold and diamonds. Where you sell your jewelry is as important as where you buy it. We at Cash for Gold are diamond and gold specialists. We will buy all size diamonds, gold chains, rings, bracelets, silver coins, and even broken jewelry. Often we pay 2 to 3 times higher than pawn shop prices. We also pay up to 90% of the daily price of both diamonds and gold. We are the original, authentic, family-run Cash for Gold and have been for more than 28 years. Visit us at 527 South Broadway, Route 28 in Salem, New Hampshire.
Building Maintenance Services. We've been servicing the Northeast since 1990. We service and repair revolving doors, automatic and handicap doors. We can help you design an attractive, efficient entrance you can be proud of. Protect your investment and secure your property with yearly maintenance contracts and 24-hour service. Whether in office, medical, or commercial high-rise, we'll get the job done right for you. Building Maintenance Services.
Would you like information about Cruisin New England Productions? Cruisin New England magazine has been the premier auto and events magazine for nearly 20 years. Cruisin New England Car Show series includes the Elite Dream Machines Rock and Roll Weekend at Mohegan Sun Casino, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin Classic. Or for personal appearances by Paul Manette or advertising on our television show, Contact us at cruisenewengland@aol.com.
I'm here with Dick Box, and he's a former employee of Studebaker. What did you do for Studebaker?
I was an East Coast regional distribution manager down out of Englewood Cliffs, New York, right next to New York City.
Now, you brought a car with you here today for this meet. Can you tell us a little bit about the vehicle?
We had this car in New York. It was the very first production 64 car that was used for TV, publicity, announcements, everything. We kept it for several months down there and then sold it, sent it up to a dealer in Massachusetts. It was sold retail to somebody. And I lost track, never heard of the car again. Well, in 2002, my son-in-law called and said, "Are you interested in another Avanti?" So I raced down. The car was in Marblehead, Massachusetts. So I went down and took one look, and I said, wow. I said, nice car, but it needs some work. It had been sitting there a long time, so took it out, and it wasn't until I got it home that I realized, I looked at the serial number, and I said, that sounds familiar. So I looked in my old archives and said, that's the original car. So I said, it's worthy of restoring because it's a historical car.
Let's have a look at under the hood. Tell us what we got here.
Okay, you've got a supercharged engine. It's a special built engine. It's an R2 is the designation for it, but it put out a lot more horsepower than the R1, which was the standard unsupercharged. It's the engine, as you see it, people say, oh, you chromed everything. This is the way they came. This is pure stock. This is the way the car was delivered to everybody. And the original selling price was $4,475, and you could throw a few extras on it, heavy-duty suspension and things like that.
Back then, though, $4,400 was a lot of money.
It was expensive than a basic Cadillac back in those days.
So now here we are looking at a completely restored automobile here. Is this a keeper for you?
You bet your life.
I'm here with Dennis Luco, a beautiful convertible. Tell us about it.
It's a 1951 Studebaker Champion convertible. They made about 4,700 of this model in that year. It was one of the better Studebaker years, 1951. Basically, I take them apart and let someone else put them back together. That's how it works.
My kind of man.
Yeah. It's a 6-cylinder standard with overdrive transmission. Probably gets around 20 miles to the gallon, although I've never really checked it out. Just a nice running, and it's a heavy car, so it really gives a nice ride. Not too much on the highway, 55 or so is good, but back roads it's beautiful.
So in restoring this, did you keep it stock in mind?
Yes, yeah, it's all pretty much stored pretty much to original. A few things I went off of, but nothing that's really noticeable. But I was able to duplicate most parts, and a lot of this is either what you call new old stock. All 3 fenders are new old stock, and most of the chrome is new old stock.
I'd like to have a look at under the hood. Will you show it?
Sure.
So Dennis, what do you have here?
This is a 170 cubic inch 6-cylinder with 85 horsepower. And this engine was first developed in 1939, and they actually used it right up into the 60s.
Dennis, what about this interior? Is this something that you'd find stock back then?
Well, not in Studebakers. If you think of a Chrysler, that's where plaid really came out.
Let's keep it fun, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the automobile with us.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Hey Dennis, before we leave today, I want to have a look at your car. Here, and I know it's a beautiful vehicle. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's a 1957 Studebaker Golden Hawk 400. They actually built 51 of these. The only main difference between this and a standard 57 Golden Hawk is the interior. All other interior, pleated dashboard, a little bit more luxury than the standard Golden Hawk. The whole car was basically a total restoration. Okay.
All right, what makes these things really interesting, the Hawk, is the back, the rear part of these vehicles.
I mean,
let's talk about the fins.
This car started out as a Raymond Loewy coupe. Okay, as Studebaker tried getting into the race with GM, they added the fins, added the upright hood, and the bigger engines. But basically, it started out as a 53 Loewy coupe is what it's usually known as.
Okay, well, can we have a look at under the hood?
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Well, this is an all-stock vehicle. It actually was restored in 1981 and 82. It's been on the road since 1983. It's been across country a couple of times.
So it's a driver for you. You drive it everywhere. I promise you folks, Studebakers, and that's exactly what we saw here today in Sturbridge. Dennis, thank you so much for a great day.
Great time.
I'm Paul Manette. Until next time, I'll be cruising New England.